Okay.
Dana, go on.
Yeah, my bro. Welcome to Fiwicamps.
Yes, man, don't know. Pleasure to be here, you know.
So let the people know who is Emileus Watson.
Who am I? Well, there's so many things to the person that I really am, you know. Leader, event planner, academic, you know, many things.
C.E.A.C.
C.E.A.C,
UWI Mona Guild.
you know, C.E.A.C, the UWI Mona Guild, you understand, esteemed, chance right, you know what I mean, many things, man. Ochi, man, you know, yeah.
We're by North Coast.
Yeah, man, you know, North Coast are my vibe, you know, calm, cool, you know,
Relax.
yeah.
So, you welcome more in your background. It's in schooling. Where did I come from?
All right, so I mean, for me personally, high school was a rough patch for me. I got
Really?
high school. So I grew up in Ocho-Rios. Then I went to boarding school, which was Knox College. Yeah, so big up Knox College. Sadly, I didn't finish Knox College. You know, some disciplinary issues, and I was forced to leave. You understand? However,
Good boy, girl.
yeah, but however, I left that in the past and just decided that, all right, let me buckle down. I went to a private high school after that where I did classes and C.E.A.C, then community college. I went to Brownstown Community College. You know, I did Cape. I excelled well in Cape. Came to UWI with aspirations of being a doctor, but I understand how the Cape thing is due to me not attaining all ones. I was accepted, but I didn't get the subsidiary to actually, you know, go. Yeah, but you know, never nothing. I really wanted to do psychiatry, so you know, I just opted to be a psychology student instead.
That's why you're studying currently.
Yeah, and really, for me, leadership was always there, right? However, it was upon entering university.
That you really took.
Where it took form and the passion was there, and you know, hearing the voices of other, and that just reflect out in me carrying out my duties, you know.
So what you say was your most memorable leadership moment?
My most memorable leadership moment being the block representative of Block Che, Chancellor Hall. Definitely one of my most memorable moments because it taught me a lot in how to deal with people. You know, the concept of both winning and losing feels so nice when you win, but at the same and that's the thing. At the same time, realize ultimately you can't feel sad when you lose because that's not eternal victory. Eternal victory is never giving up, just continue
fighting the fight.
Exactly. So that was really my most memorable tenure as a leader. Yeah, man, for sure.
However, from Black Rep to now C.E.A.C.
All right, that's a good question, you know. I like the question there. All right, let me tell you, honestly, I took a hiatus from university. So when COVID hit, I took a 3-year hiatus. So I came back second semester, the year of 2023, 2024. So I came back 2024, second semester, I believe. Yeah, somewhere there, right? 2 years ago, basically. So 2023 year. And after that, when I returned to Chancellor Hall, you know, the culture had shifted a bit. And I believe the hall needed an individual who knew the culture to assist the governing bodies to really bring back the place. You understand? So hence why I decided, all right, cultural and entertainment affairs chairperson. I think it's ideal that, you know, I be a part of that. So that's why I transitioned. Bear in mind, I only knew a few things about the whole C.E.A.C thing. You know, serving on the committee before, I know what you're supposed to do. But I was still relatively new. But upon entering the role, I realized that I was a natural at it. You know, I had really good members assisting me in the leadership, being a part of the entirety of the planning and so forth. So it really come natural and it was good. So that's where the transition came from. And then it's only natural, as we're taught at this institution, particularly being Chancellor Hall, that, listen, you always transition and matriculate to something greater. So your Hall C.E.A.C, you just go for Guild C.E.A.C after that, you know? So really, that was how the transition really happened.
Between Black Rep and
C.E.A.C, yeah.
So kind of break down the position for those who don't. Because I really know where C.E.A.C is.
All right, so in a sense, the Cultural and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson is in charge of the governance of the events held by the Guild of Students, right, which entail the
Freshers Cocktail, UWI Carnival.
Yes, Freshers Cocktail, Freshers Concert, Freshers Fete, Integration, UWI Carnival, Miss UWI. And along with that, you have to extend the reach of other events of student organizations. So for example, you have to assist constitutionally, you assist in events being held by the student organizations to have their maximum reach. So you ensure that persons know about these events, patrons turn out for these events, you understand? We also have the role of C.E.A.Cs, have the role of reaching out to, you know, Philip Sherlock, you know, for plays and all of that. So collaborative efforts. And I said, you know, Miss UWI. So it's
reach out that I get just to the rules and responsibilities.
Yeah, man, and it's not really only entertainment, it's also culture. Right? So I was one of the few C.E.A.Cs that, well, based on what I've heard, that actually held a cultural event. Diwali,
Leslie.
Yes. So that was a collaborative effort. Yeah, man. So collaboration, myself, LRH, TTSA, Guy Saj. You know what I mean?
So we can look forward to our next.
Definitely. We have cultural events for this semester as well. Definitely.
That is it.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So how do you balance the entertainment portion of it with your academic responsibilities?
All right, so that's something that's big for me, the academic commitments that we have. For me, personally, not every person is adept in time management.
Yeah.
So for me, I plan ahead. So like, even last night, I say, all right, I go study, you know, because I know, say, the upcoming weeks are go rough. So every night, I allot some time to study. If it's 2 hours a night, and attending boarding school, that was something that was instilled, 2 hours a night study, prep. But for me, if I know that I'm going to attend events till 10 in the night and I have class throughout the day, I just sacrifice the sleep because that's just the reality. The sacrifices have to be made, you know.
Yeah, bro, come if you interview with Shea Creative.
Yeah.
I say, not nice time, so start the sleeping.
Yeah, the sleeping thing is a concept, you know, real, you know. And you have to understand.
You need 8 hours, man.
No, you know real. You don't need 8 hours. You just need to understand, say there are greater things right now. You sleep half your life, you know.
Bro, you know, the most can sacrifice it now and get it back later.
Exactly. So the temporary pain for the long-term success is that much greater.
That is
You understand? So for me, that's how I approach it. Yeah, I approach it kind of stoic, you know. Me just know say, I don't like this, but you can't all. Yeah,
it's not. I think that's what is holding back a lot of students. You know, everybody's trying to do what they like, you know.
Yeah, no. Because the reality is, you know, it's not motivation, you know, it's discipline, you know. Yeah, you have to get up and know, say, all right, I have to do this.
No matter what.
No matter what. Exactly. Right?
And then now, for students that are struggling with that, what advice I can give them?
All right, well, there's a few things. We just mentioned persons doing what they like. That's also a factor. I would recommend, firstly, introspect and reevaluate. Do I like what I'm studying, and am I adept at what I'm studying? Am I a natural at what I do? Right? Another thing is, you now have to realign your commitments, because if you realize that, all right, then leadership is taking more time and it's a detriment more than something positive, then you shift. You have to shift your priorities.
Yeah, man, I have to say it so it aligns.
Yeah, man, you have to. If it's a case where you party more than you should, if it's a case where the girlfriend or boyfriend thing is too much.
And that's
Like,
the next thing too, man.
yeah, if you realize that your intimate relationships or even social relationships with
Not be just intimate.
Yeah, and I have-
Relationship on a whole.
just relationships on a whole, then if it's a case where you have to retreat from that to ensure that your studies are prioritized, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have real friends, real people, they'll definitely understand. And also,
They're supposed to motivate you.
exactly, and also you have many organizations, academic support unit, for example, that can help you to reassess how you study. You understand? Because some
different
persons
studying
have
techniques.
different studying techniques, and that's how it goes. You have to find your study technique, you have to prioritize, and just realign your focus. Focus is the biggest thing, And I say a man brighter than the next man,
Just when focus for
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. It's just that one person has the ability to focus more than the other. Yeah, it's just the level of focus. So that's really what I would recommend persons to do.
Now, I'm going to go back a little bit more in the C.E.A.C role.
Definitely.
What else is the most challenging aspect of it is? For students out there that say, I want to be the Mona Guild's next C.E.A.C.
Yeah, man.
What can they expect to look forward to?
Well, honestly, it's one of the most strenuous, if not the most strenuous roles, right? Due to the fact that you have social obligations, you have managerial obligations, you have administrative obligations that you have to fulfill.
Obligations.
Yeah, man. So the reality is this. Yes, you want to maintain your constitutional duties, but because it's so social and you're catering to persons and what they want, you have to ensure, say, for the majority, you please them, because the reality is you can't go please everybody. Even if you listen as much, but my aim was always to please the majority and listen to what students want, right? Or even think about what could appeal to students. And the brainstorming part is one of the hardest parts,
Constantly, yeah.
Yeah, and then, the management part, say, all right, then you have to lead your committee, you have to get signed off by admin, then you have to, you have to work closely with other portfolios, because I do the events, you have public relations, you have sponsorship, and then you galvanize the support of the students through their hall chairpersons.
So you have a network with
a lot of talking, you're in meetings about this. So it's not only partying and managing events. There's a lot of professionalism.
Yeah, so I think it's a definitely a good way to kind of get an idea of the professional world.
Exactly. And you'll be interacting with corporate entities a lot. So me within that role, I actually identified these things early out, and I got guidance from my predecessors, previous C.E.A.Cs, on how to handle certain things. So for me, it's more the brainstorming and then the administrative aspect. Yeah, you have to write, you have to type, you have to send out emails, advocate, and say, listen, no, I believe this is more ideal for this event. This is not ideal. You understand? Whole heap of delegating and finding a middle ground. So it's a lot of work, but with consistency, because that's my thing. It's really just to be consistent.
Every day do so.
Yeah, and instead of doing 10 grand things, you can do 5 impactful things.
That is it.
Well, you get what I say? It's more impactful when you just keep 5 things and say, right? So within that role, those are just a few things, challenges that may arise, but can happen. If you want to be next C.E.A.C, anybody on campus,
Just go feed.
Just go feed.
So now, we're going to hear what your vision for campus culture is.
Good question. Campus culture. Well, a person who has experienced pre-COVID and post-COVID and the social interactions that students have. Students are now more reserved, I believe. Students aren't as outgoing. It's more attend university than leave, and not understanding the impactfulness of even attending certain events and going certain places on campus just for the experiential aspect of campus life, right? So though persons are no more laid back, I see where the culture is coming back. Persons are more, they're garnering interest
In campus culture.
in campus culture, and the halls of residence, the faculties, commuting body, we're all trying to get the campus back to a place where, hey, this is UWI, one of the best places in the region. You understand? So for me, I really just want to see campus not only go back to what it was, but better than it was before, in how we socialize, right? In how we tackle our academics as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
it's good to come here and then do social, well, outreach to things outside your degree, yes.
Yeah.
But never forget why you're here.
Why you're here, exactly. So just maintaining that reason and being outgoing, finding that balance within campus culture is what I'd want to see every student attain throughout their tenure at the university. You understand? So just a vibrant campus. Not too laid back, lock up in your room, or just vibrant. Yeah, man, definitely.
So, what we can hear about UWI Carnival, what's upcoming, what can I look forward to?
Alright, so UWI Carnival this year, first off, is going to be nothing like what anyone has experienced. That's what I'm aiming for. Right? So you understand that UWI Carnival, it starts on a Thursday, which would be March 13, and we're kickstarting it with the launch party.
When March?
Alright, so launch party the 13th, 14th we have Juve, paint park, paint, water foam. And let me tell you, there's no other Juve, I believe, in the island for that price, for the amount of things that we will be offering. Right? Then, yeah, man, baitings. And say after that, we have the big day, which is Ring Road. Everybody's up for the road march. You understand? Everybody's in the island. In the hot sun, Then we have the aftermath, biggest event of the series.
The aftermath.
The aftermath, right?
The aftermath. Right.
Then, so we are in it. And then now I go end on a calm note because of beach. And beach, beach is the...
I think last year beach, man, and we do a fireworks, bro.
Yeah, man. So
unexpected.
Yes, man. So we are got big pan certain things, I understand. But before that, all those festivities, we have the band launch. And that's really what's going to get us in that vibe. When we see the costumes, see the allure the costumes bring from the respective bands.
And the team again.
All right, then. So the theme for this year's carnival, personally, I'm a avid fan of culture. I kind of guy, we just randomly go off on some tangent to read about what's happening in the world and how persons function on an anthropological level. However, for me, I decided I wanted to tailor UWI Carnival in a cultural perspective in regards to the Caribbean, because the fact is UWI Carnival is what started Carnival in Jamaica. So I opted to name it the Tales of the Isles. So the whimsical vibe that comes from that is each Caribbean country is incorporated.
So we're getting a more culturally accurate.
Yes, basically. So the bands, for example, each of them have respective Caribbean territories that they're aligned to showcase their costumes. You understand, we're taking elements from other Caribbean countries and incorporating them within the carnival, right? So we're really trying to not only make it a carnival in Jamaica or UWI Carnival, but we're trying to make it, a collective regional carnival. We want to take elements out of. So Tales of the Isles, each island is, or Caribbean territory is special in their own way. So we're going to highlight that. So it's a more cultural perspective.
So we can look forward to hearing the regional stop complaining.
That's really part of my aim though, so that we have to have a level of inclusivity for everybody. Yeah, so that's my aim, the inclusion. That's really what I hope for, because that's also a undocumented role of the C.E.A.C, being a social man of the people. That's what you really aim for, being a man of the people, knowing the wants and needs of people, you know what I mean? So that's really it. That's how I view it.
Alright, so we can definitely say we're looking forward to a new touch.
Yeah, man.
Carnival.
Yeah, man. We adding some new elements within all the resources that we have. We're going to try our best to execute and make it bad, make it wicked. That's the aim, you know.
How are we coming up after UWI Carnival?
All right. So after UWI Carnival, we have tentatively a gospel concert because, as me say, inclusion. We not forget nobody. Right round, you know, then we have Miss UWI. Outside you have Jamaica Carnival. You understand me I say so? Yeah.
Alright, so we could get some advice for new set of university students, current set, resume, and then close off.
Alright then, so for me as a psychology major, right, psych and sociology, I really think about these things deeply, you know. But just in simple terms, stay focused, manage your time effectively and efficiently, and just show your mettle as an individual, because the reality is this: a lot of us aren't funding our own education. Our parents are funding it. We're funding it through loans, through scholarships, and we have to understand the value of the dollar. We have to understand the value of the education that we're receiving and the long-term effects that it has. So ultimately, just stay focused, manage your time, and just show why you deserve to be at this institution, and just really understand that in the long run, it's going to work out. It's going to work out.
You have to have faith, man.
We have to have faith. It's going to work out. Just stay focused. Attend all your classes, even if it's a lecture. Yeah, the money are gonna come, the GLE are gonna come. You understand what I say? You range markets, whatever you like, it will go forward.
Believe.
Just stay focused. Go your class, then don't miss your lectures either, trust me. I learned that the hard way.
Just keep on that tutorial.
You know, well, don't skip any of them. Just keep the focus, that's my thing. As we said earlier, it's not that an individual is more intellectual than another, it's just a level of focus. So just power the subconscious mind is great. Keep your focus.
So big up, and most importantly, big up Fiwicamps.
Fiwicamps, you don't know.
Now, big up.
What is it? For big up. Yeah. Oh, big up everybody. Alright, so you don't know, first and foremost, big up UWI Mona Guild, you know, big up C.E.A.C committee, big up Mans of Chancellor Hall, big up Jamaica, and big up to the rest of the world, you know?
Big up Fiwicamps.
Global.